Hi, and welcome to the fourth part of uFrame 1.5 Getting Started series. In this part, we will design how the game finishes and how to play the level again. We already got a control element, which is called level root, so let's define a new state machine. I'll call this GameFlow state machine. And I will define a property called GameFlow state. Inside of this state machine, I will define three properties: running, lost, and won. I will also define a couple of transitions: lose and win. So my default state will be running, and if I lose, I'll go to lost state. If I win, I will go to won state. We got states and transitions, so let's define triggers. Those are going to be commands: lose game and win game. Lose game will go to lose transition, and win game will trigger win transition. And I will add a binding for the view, which is called GameFlow state changed from state machine property binding category. Now we also have to modify the character a bit. We need to add a command which is called finish reached. This will be triggered when player reaches the end of the level. And we can save and compile. We don't have to modify any view models, but we will need to define some additional logic in the level root controller. First, let's define when we lose the game. When I initialize the level root, I want to take the player property and select those events where player does not equal to null. And when it's not, I'm going to invoke new player set handler. So let me generate one. When I got a new player, I want to subscribe to his isAlive property and select those events where isAlive is set to false. This means that the player is dead, and that is why, when it happens, I want to execute command on my level root called lose game. So as you can see, the logic is quite expressive. Also, I want to subscribe to his finish reached command and execute level root win game in case this happens. However, this will fail if my player is changed during the gameplay, because level root is going to track the old player. So what I will do is I will dispose this binding when my level root.player property is changed. So I will not keep track of the old player, and I will do the same for winning situation. So far we have defined how we can lose and win, but it would be nice if we could start the level again. So I will go back to my diagram and add another command to my level root. It's going to be restart. Now in the controller, I can handle this command. I will grab my game manager, which is a static instance, and I will invoke transition level. For this, I have to specify the target scene manager. In my case, I'm going to transition to the same scene. That is why I will have the same scene manager, which is called level scene manager. I can specify a method to be invoked when this level scene manager loads. For this, I specify a lambda here. However, I'm not going to do anything inside of it. The second parameter defines what scenes to load. In my case, the scene is called assets. Now we need to add a few things to the view. I will define a couple of public properties. Game over screen, its text, which is a message, and play again button. The button is represented as a game object. This object has a collider on it. So I will use bind method, and I will take each update event. Then I will filter those events which have mouse button clicked. Then I will perform raycasting against this object, and if I hit this, I will execute restart. Now we can use state handlers. So what I will do is every time my game is set to running state, I'm going to turn off the game over screen. When my game is lost, I will turn on my game over screen and set the message to "you have lost." And I will do completely the same for one state. However, I will slightly change the message. The only thing left is to handle character avatar view collision with the win location object. So I have a script which is called win location. It is completely empty, but it has a collider on it in my scene. It's right here, and it has a box collider defined in the end of the level. So I will do totally the same as we did with the spikes. And I will execute finish reached. And let me fix the raycasting a bit. Here in the heat, I have to use play again button.transform.position. Since we do level transitioning, we have to add a few scenes to the building settings. Of course, we're going to have this scene called assets, but also uFrame uses loading screen to transition between scenes. So I will add this as well. And make sure that on your game manager you got the loading level set to the name of the loading scene. By default, it's called loading. We also have to set required object for level root view, which is game over screen. We also got game over message text and play again button. Finally, we can play the scene. Well, I will try to die. And there we go. If I hit play again, I can play the same level again. I can also try to win. And it works. It's very primitive, very simple, but it works.